watches and enjoys. It is Piggy, and I'm joined by Ash here from Watching Walford. Bring you yet another edition of the Watching Walford podcast. It's episode 121. Today's episodes are going to cover the biggest storylines and takeaways from week 17 of 2025. All the episodes from the 21st of the 4th all the way to the 24th of the 4th, 2025. So yeah, if you don't know how this works, let me just quickly. There we go. If you don't know how this works, we have two topics to go through. Nigel. First we have the introduction, and then it's Nigel Gets Worse. This is the introduction. Nicola's birthday / Teddy finds out is the second topic. And then after that, we have a little bit of an award show. Now, this award is as professional as show and tell, but I'd say show and tell is a bit more professional. And then we have the after show. This is going to be anything. We could talk about aliens. We have to talk about things that would suit the old YouTube algorithm. We can't be popping there talking about dark stuff. Anything that can suit the algorithm. And that's the after show. Usually the after show might not happen. We might make it in the middle of it. It all depends if we go on a tangent or not. If we find something funny, I will say. Because last week we were doing, I can't say the word yet, but we were doing a tier list of certain supplements that you endure.
Yes. YouTube didn't like it.
No.
Did not like our tier list of
supplements.
Yes. It's one of those weird things where, I mean, recently in all right, we're 2 minutes in.
Yeah.
It feels like recently we have angered Father YouTube because I was uploading a short. I was uploading this short where I made a relatively funny, well, at least I thought it was a funny joke. Where I said something like, I was talking about Lucy Beale. And I was talking about how she was bumped off, and obviously, at the time, she was sniffing the gear. She was beaking out of control. And YouTube did not like that. And because I did it like 3 times trying to get it past the ads. But because I had rated it like wrong like 3 times, now YouTube decides that they don't like us having ads that much. So it's like, yeah, we're gonna have to manually review it. Forget the fact that because I mean, if people don't know what it is, when you upload a video to YouTube and you have monetization, you basically get like a little form and you go, oh, does it involve any of this stuff? And like a good boy, you say, oh no, everything's above board, Captain YouTube. Everything's above board. No bad topics here. And we're obviously a soap channel and we talk about pretty taboo subjects in the first place. But nothing, all above board, sir, YouTube. And each time you rate it, and if you do like a lot of them and they're all correct and YouTube sees nothing wrong, they just generally go, all right, sound. All right, we trust your rating. But because I've rated 3 things incorrectly, our rating is now low, so they have to do the big manual review. Well, not manual, but they have to do their automated review. Which is like, we've done like 200 videos that have all been monetized with no issue, but I've done 3 wrong, and YouTube is angry at us.
What is
when I watch this get demonetized?
What is the first YouTube video ever again? Is it "This is my zoo" or "Welcome to my zoo"?
Yeah, something like that.
Because if you don't know, gonna say that video turns 20 as of Wednesday, the 23rd of April, 2025. That turns 20. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because that is shocking to know that YouTube is 20 years old. Because it's just amazing.
Not that shocking to me.
Probably not, but it's just the fact of like it's been around for 20 years and so much has changed between executives and stuff. Because like YouTube, like 10 years ago, it's like, you can mention death, just not a lot. And now it's like, don't you dare mention the D word. That D word is as offensive as the C word, but we can't even say the C word because it's that offensive. And it's calm down, YouTube.
And it is also, well, it did go from, I mean, people were pushing the boat out a little bit much.
I'd hope so.
They definitely, it was within reason, because YouTube, they were getting sued because their content wasn't advertiser friendly, but also it is a weird standard. It's weird to have to censor things to get it passed, especially because obviously And I don't know why I made this. I just wanted to complain about YouTube being useless. I love you, YouTube. Keep paying us, please. But it's especially with what we're looking to make. I'm gonna have to do a lot of censoring of a lot of the things that are said, and that's not gonna be fun. That's not gonna be fun.
Meanwhile,
So this is what happened when Peggy, Archie, fill in the blanks, kids. Fill in the blanks.
you just do what every YouTuber does, where they go when
You just cut it. You just slightly obscure it.
this is what happens when Archie or Peggy, and it's like okay, I get it. But yeah, it's a very weird thing because obviously they don't know we're talking about soaps. They just think we're talking about real people.
Yeah, exactly. That's the weird bit where obviously we could also be like, oh, we're educating, and obviously if you do education on YouTube, they love it, so it's all fine. But yeah, it's one of those because we're talking about taboo subjects, and we're talking about them like they are real because that's what we do, and that's what we're here to talk about because we're discussing it like it's real, but it's not real. But it's a very matter of fact. This is what's happening. And I'm not gonna start every sentence with "So in EastEnders, a fictional show that is not real, Nigel is battling dementia." It's just not how it works, is it? Unfortunately, but we did choose to go to YouTube. We could have been a Twitch streamer.
We tried that, didn't work out. So
well, we did stream at like terrible times.
True. But
we probably could have made more of an effort, but I also selfishly want to stream my own stuff as well, and I'm not waiting.
Fair enough.
One of these things has been around for 7 years, and the other is Watching Walford.
Okay. Just bury your own company on stream. Why not? Fair enough.
I mean, the one is significantly more successful.
Which one is that?
Well, is it? Is it though?
Up to you.
What metric?
If we're going by pounds, but yeah, there's a small little rant about YouTube. I know people don't really like us. They just want us to get straight into the EastEnders, but that is the little rant about YouTube. Other podcasters won't really talk about it, but yeah, there it is. But yeah, YouTube's also special to some curators like Sniper Wolf, which we're not going to mention here because Sniper Wolf is a lovely person, Ash, isn't she? She's a very lovely person and has done nothing wrong. See, YouTube's not going to like us. We defended
That's too niche for me. I don't care.
Yeah, you just have to say you like her, so then YouTube doesn't get mad.
I only care about the things that affect me.
Fair enough. Okay, now it's time for the podcast. 8:43 is the timestamp. Welcome. Now, to set the scene, dementia is bad. We all know that. It's very bad. Now, it's Monday.
To say the least.
What?
To say the least.
Well, I
God's
guess.
sake, dementia's bad. Dementia is bad.
Oh, be back.
Yep.
We're back.
Yeah, we're fine. We're back.
But yeah, dementia is bad. I will give a funny story, and then I will obviously give my own text on it because I live with someone with dementia. I've probably told this story before, but I once did a pull-up on the shower curtain, and I snapped it, and then my dad asked me what happened to the shower curtain, and then, I think Nanny slipped in the shower when she was like showering and broke it. And my dad went, all right. And then like years later when we were leaving the house, he went, did you actually break that shower curtain? I went, yeah, I did. And you blamed the dementia woman. I went, yeah.
You can't be blaming Granny.
That's what I always would do in my house. I know people might say it's wrong, but like any time.
Well, it's not. I highly doubt she knew about it. So
yeah. And if she knew, she'd forget. So I can't not wrong there, lads. That's why you can steal their food. They won't give out to you. They won't remember. But like when any time my dad had a chocolate bar and it would go missing, I eat it. Like, who ate my chocolate bar? I go, Granny, bloody Granny, eating the chocolate on you. Who drank the Coke, son? Bloody Granny. What is she like? Am I right? There's your funny bits about it. I will kind of dive into like what I know about dementia and like what I would like not do, what I'd recommend for people who might be dealing with it. It's a very grim thing. But anyways, it's Easter Sunday or Monday in Albert Square, either or, and they're setting out an Easter egg hunt. But sadly, the rabbit cannot make it. The rabbit had some fatal shits.
Couldn't even get Mr. Pickles.
Nah, he was too busy. He was on holidays, and this is being filmed. So Nigel offers to step in. Now I know it's not funny, but like, so the Easter egg hunt goes ahead. Like everything's going fine until Harvey tries to bring Hope home, and then Nigel goes, "Get your hands off Claire, you pedo!" And I'm like. Oh, because you're not supposed to laugh at it, but it's just the tone in which he says it. Because again, it's
he firmly believes that it's all real.
Yeah. It's because the only other thing I can remember is one time my nanny used to have animals, like stuffed animals, like animal plushies in her room, and she had a sheep one. So one night, me and my dad had to. Obviously, she was like asking my dad, "Can you get rid of the sheep? The sheep are in my room." And we had to open the front door and be like, "Get the sheep out! Come on, sheep! Get down the stairs! Come on, bah, bah, bah!" You know, just doing all of that, just to try and convince her that the sheep are gone. It's the things you have to do, like.
Good Christ! Yeah.
The one other thing is, I will say that I can compare it to is, so we lived obviously in an estate, but it was like a road where the school was like across the road from it, and so down in the bottom of the estate was where this apartment of flats used to, like this block of flats is, and there used to be bins outside, a recycling bin and a waste bin, like out for rubbish. But she was so confused and so like determined that there was a man on this wall who was just sitting there watching her. He was sat on the wall watching her. And my dad had to go down one like not Christmas morning, but like one time in December with her, and I go, "Look, he's not here." And my nanny goes, "There's some bins, aren't they?" I was like, "Yeah." It's just the stuff you do. But yeah, just getting the sheep out of the bedroom is like a funny story. Bah, going around doing that. Bah. It's just imagining me doing that, like 3 a.m. Granny, go to bed. Bah.
Yeah, but I know what you're like with impressions. You weren't even properly trying. Go on, look. No, but the sheep there. Bah. Go on, that's better. Got to workshop your sheep noises.
Yeah. So yeah, he's declining a bit more and more, and Phil is becoming more and more protective of them. Of him, because he's a dementia patient. You do get worse before you get better. It's not a thing where you can flip the switch and then suddenly, you're back to normal.
Like there are good days and bad days, but as time goes on, there's a whole lot more bad days than good.
Yes, and if you want a weird fact, now this thankfully didn't happen to my nanny, but some dementia patients, how can I put this in a YouTube friendly term, get a bit rowdy when they have dementia, and they go around the house free balling. Thankfully, my nanny never did that. But Phil, I would not be surprised if one day Nigel came down, things swinging, going.
Darkers. Slinging brain.
Yeah, and that is a true fact though. Like they get rowdy and just come. Like a story I was told was like this carer was looking after a family. I was looking after this dementia patient, and they were sitting there having breakfast one morning, and he just walked in, full bollocks and everything, just showing, just going, "How's it going, lads?" Just like nothing happened. He's just like,
just not understanding that it's not really something you should do.
Yeah. Thankfully, if my nanny that, I'd be scared shitless, and I would have nightmares. But
on top of the other ones.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But yeah, so he is getting progressively worse, and Phil finds out that Nigel says if he can't do his own test, which yes, they do test people. They ask them questions like, "What year is it? Who is the president of? Who's the prime minister of the UK?" And then if they go, Margaret Thatcher, you're like, well,
It's an interesting way of Nigel trying to take control of the situation. He wants to be able to pass these stuff that like Nigel of the past would find pretty rudimental, they're pretty basic, but he should know the answers 100% of the time. And it's just a little test to figure out if things have gone. If it's a test to see if things have progressed too far, and it's all about. And what Nigel is starting to kind of imagine is how can I stop it before it gets like excruciating as such. That's his mindset. If he fails the test, he knows, shit. It is progressing faster than expected. Now, and he gets the idea of maybe it's time to do something about it.
yeah, and he wants to take his own life. Now, I honestly, in my eyes, I don't really see anything wrong with this because dementia / Alzheimer's is, I want to say it's the most brutal way you can go, because if you have family around you, you essentially die twice. You like forget everyone you love, and then obviously you die in reality, and it's a criminal. Like people as young as 30 can get it. So when I turn 30, I'm getting that test. But it's just it's
Will
a
be
shame.
good to know.
Yeah, it's just and also it can. I believe it can go through relatives as well. I believe like it can run. It's a genetic that can run in families, from what I remember. Maybe I shouldn't have used that terminology, but yeah, it's from what I can remember. It can travel through families. So yeah, he wants to take his own cognitive test to see what he can remember. Is denying the living dead fact actually true? Because you watch horror films.
Yeah. No, it is true.
Okay,
They did indeed use chocolate sauce
fair enough.
to show the blood. I mean, it and because obviously it's not in. Is it actually in? No, I'm pretty sure it's black and white, so it's not in full color. But even then, it still looks a bit strange. But hey, early primitive techniques, pretty cool one to do. Nice use of practical effects. Always something that's cool.
Yeah. And he kind of fails the test, and then Phil walks in and he just laughs. It's like, oh, classic Nigel. And then he actually watches the video and he's like, okay. And Phil is very hard trying to understand this because Nigel obviously in February told him, look, you should live. If you have to live for Phil, I'm here for you. But now Nigel is going against his word. Now, obviously, if you put two and two together, having dementia versus having mental health problems is kind of two different. It's like comparing a steak dinner to an apple dinner. You can't really compare it. Like it's
Apple
just
dinner.
apple dinner. Yeah, it's just an apple, you know.
Notorious apple dinners.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
It's a different kettle of fish, right?
Yeah.
It's a different thing entirely. At least with a mental health, you can work and it will get better. But with dementia, it's just going to get worse and worse, right?
Yeah.
You know, at some point, you probably won't even have the conscious thought, knowing. Like it's a thing where you'll have times where you're lucid, but for the most part, you are just You're just. It's like your brain just turns on you. Is the problem. Where you don't really know what to think, you don't really know what to trust, you don't really know what's real, what's not. It's an awful way to go.
Yeah, and basically Phil is trying to understand why would you want to end your life, Nigel? And Nigel, even though he's struggling to remember things, he clearly tells Phil, look, what I deal with versus what you dealt with is two different things. And Phil does not really understand this, and he says, why don't you just do it then, pussy? And Nigel's like, fair enough, okay. Bit harsh, but fair enough. And Phil, like, obviously goes, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that to him, should I? And then he goes, talks to Linda. And then when he comes back, he's gone. Nigel is gone. and he's packed his bags. He's ready to leave, and with this, he is surrounded by a bunch of teenagers, a bunch of hooligans.
Well, it's also Phil finds a note.
Yeah.
Which obviously suggests that Nigel has tried something permanent to solve his problems. Oh yeah, YouTube. And yeah, this is where he's going out. He's going to leave again. It's all gotten too much. It's time to go. But he is walking with his bag. Gets cornered by a group of lads who want to see what's in the bag, but they grab the bag. Nigel pushes back. And Nigel then falls over and hits his head, and from that point, he is essentially lost and alone in like a dark street somewhere.
Yeah, and this is obviously Phil doesn't know, so Phil and Linda go look for Nigel, but lo and behold, they check the arches because they think, oh, he's in the arches, he's dead. But he's not. He's unconscious. Linda gets a phone call saying, oh, look, he's in hospital. And when they arrive at hospital, Phil tries to get Nigel sectioned, which, obviously, you can't really do that, in my eyes. Because what he's dealing with is completely different to what you're dealing with, Phil. And it's just, I will...
Yeah, Phil. Stop trying to get him sectioned.
But I will say, like, the one thing you kind of have to do with dementia is you kind of have to agree with them. You don't really want to rile them up, because if you get them aggravated... also, I should say, a side effect of dementia, some dementia patients can get violent. Like, the only time my nanny ever got violent was when my dad tried to bring her up the stairs, and she just grabbed the walking stick and absolutely throttled it down the stairs at him. She didn't hit him, she just narrowly missed him, but like they can get violent if they progressively get worse. It's just a trait that happens because they go, you're stepping on my territory, homeboy. I don't like this.
Yeah, it can just get really... Well, it's just, I don't know, I just feel it as just be not permanently scared, but, you know, pretty scared, pretty terrified, not really knowing where you are, so...
Yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I just described it as like two lads stepping on the wrong territory, you know. They're on my piece of land. I don't like that, let's scrap now. And obviously, he arrives at hospital, and then he just goes, look, Phil, you fucking idiot. He doesn't need to be sectioned. He has nothing wrong with him. He has dementia. What you're dealing with and what he's dealing with is two different fish. Stop this, you idiot. You ludicrous idiot. And Phil is like, oh, fair enough. And he brings Nigel.
Yeah, he is actually quite amiable about it. He does kind of just go, yeah, fair enough. Maybe, and essentially just goes, yeah, maybe you should talk to you and Nigel should talk and actually, you know, have an honest and open conversation about this, because if it doesn't stop, you're just going to both keep ramming into the same brick wall.
Mm-hmm. Took a drink there. So yeah, Nigel obviously goes home, and then they start talking about care homes for him. Now, I will also add for this, care homes can be a good thing for dementia patients, also could be a bad thing, because some do like care homes, but some do see it as, why are you taking me out of my comfort place? This is where I want to go. The one other thing I will mention about is they might bring it up on EastEnders. I don't know if they will show all the traits of dementia, but another trait is some of them want to go back to, so say like, so say you had a family home, but that home was sold, so you know you live in a new house. They might go back to a stage where they want to go back to that old house, but obviously they can't, because either that house is gone, doesn't exist, or it's not yours anymore. And
I mean, they did this with Nigel aiming to go back to the video shop.
Yeah.
To kind of, you know, because he was mentally back in that routine, like ours back in the 90s where he worked at the video store. He has to go have a shift now, and obviously it's now a pharmacy. So he had the very jarring bit of why, you know, what's happened? Why is this a thing?
Yeah, and as I said, they do go back to different times. But Phil tries to go, look, care homes can look after you, they can do this, they can do that. And Nigel just wants to get an old flat or an old caravan and just live his final days out peacefully. He doesn't want any of this nonsense. He doesn't want to feel like a burden, a burden. I can't say that word. Burden, on Phil. What was the word I was saying last week that I could not pronounce correctly? Epileptic. There we go. That was the word.
Yes, epileptic. There we are.
But like,
I mean, honestly, it's kind of a. It does sound like an alright plan. Obviously, not within the context of the dementia, but in a way, him deciding maybe it's time to go. I feel like most people kind of want that agency if you're knocking on death's door or you've decided it's time. You can imagine most people wanting to fully have that agency before, in Nigel's case, it fully takes over and he doesn't really feel he has a choice anymore. Like, it's kind of you get the idea, and it's not a bad plan, spend, I mean, it's what people want, like, retirement to be. You live out your last, the bulk of your life, kind of not back to being a kid in a way, but like back to having less issues and less like problems, and you just slowly, as time goes on.
Yeah,
doesn't sound too bad.
It doesn't sound too bad. It's just
obviously Nigel's case is much worse, of course.
Yeah, it's to me, having family around you when you have dementia can be a good thing. It can also be a pretty bad thing, but it's generally a good thing to like have your family around you. The only problem I would obviously clarify and say, it's better to just be open with the fact they might not remember me. They might not. And it does make me sad that sometimes my nanny couldn't remember me, but I honestly just accepted the fact that sometimes she wasn't going to know who I was. It's a sad truth, but if you get over that thing, you can pretty much just deal with it, is what I would say.
Yeah, it's not, and it's one of those things where it's not like they're intentionally. It's not like they are intending to forget you. It's just they can. It's not like it's never a personal thing. It's just, the brain stops, unfortunately.
It's a sad reality, but it's a reality that you will have to accept.
A lot of people have to deal with and face.
Yeah, and Phil is like, just care home. Then the following day, they have a funny chat about it because Phil's like, Nigel, I've been looking online, and then he mashes up the food, which is also true. So they do mash up food and just easier for them instead of chewing. But so we had to kind of, with my nanny, we had to kind of like, do you know like when you give a dog a slice of cheese, but obviously you hid their tablets in it, and they're not supposed to know. Yeah, we had to do that with my nanny, but the problem was my nanny was too smart, and I don't know how, but like she knew there was
just
tablets.
Sussed it out, yeah.
Like so say you give her like a sweet, but obviously you hit the sweet with a tablet in it.
Yeah.
So she'd suck on the sweet and then just go. And she's like, Nanny, what are you doing there? Nothing. And then like as she was going to bed, just lift up the chair, it's like punching tablets in under the couch. Like one time she went to the bathroom and did she take a tablet, Nanny? Yeah. And she went to the bathroom, just spat it into the toilet. My dad goes, I've fucking seen that tablet in the toilet, Nanny. Do not take it. So yeah, a lot of things do go wrong, but they do manage to like go, okay, I will take care of you, mate. I will be your best friend until the end. More ham and cheese toasties. Nigel, just accept this. I do wonder.
You say that just as a simple thing. Ham and cheese toasties are great. I don't know why. I don't know why this is the angle I want to talk about, but I don't know. Ham and cheese, for the most part, are separate. And I always had them separate. I want some cheese, nice. Cheese toasty, delicious. Want some ham, put it in a sandwich, delicious. It took me so long to go, what if you put them together? And then you just go, this is just so much better. Why was I never having this? Why would you have one? Why would you just have one when you could have more? It's great. Ham and cheese toasties. Toasties are great in general.
Yeah, I would agree.
I say that. I do the normal thing that most people do, where you have a toasty like once every 3 months, and you're like, oh, this is great. I'm gonna have another one. Then you put the toasty maker back in the cupboard. The old classic.
Yeah, I've not got much to add to that, mate. But
How dare you?
the fucking I don't know where it's going. The economical crisis of the ham and cheese toasty sandwich. I heard Pope Francis used to like a ham and cheese toasty sandwich, but sadly he can't have any anymore. R.I.P. to old good friend Pope Francis. I heard he was a long time watcher of this channel as well. So R.I.P. King. But anyways, yeah. I will say I don't know how this storyline's going to end, but I'm not looking forward to the ending because I have a feeling they're going to mimic Peggy in 2016, but it's going to be Phil there, and he's going to actually help his best friend, and I'm not prepared for it. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not prepared. I do not want it, but I'm waiting for it.
It feels like the natural ending to me. It does. I mean, I suppose before this, just running through the rest of what actually happens. The Thursday's episode is Nigel and Phil trying to navigate this new situation. With Phil accepting that he wants to be Nigel's carer and he's going to be there through thick and thin. He is going to be there for him, but he's also trying to learn. He's trying to quickly get to grips with what he needs to do, what helps, what doesn't help. But he's also mostly going off of his research rather than what Nigel's telling him, which is kind of a cause for issue between the two, because it's like, Phil, I can still do stuff now, and I want to do stuff now. No, Nigel, you need rest. It's like, no, Phil, understanding, I'm good now. Please, let's not waste away these good days. And by the end of Thursday's episode, he just kind of, they reach understanding. Phil's like, yeah, maybe I was a bit strict with this, but let's kick back tonight. We'll have a nice night. It'll be fine. So it is just him trying to navigate the situation while not really being equipped to handle it, but it is also Phil, and he is trying his best. So it's kind of it's a nice little conclusion, but in the same way, it is still like haunting in a way, because it is gonna be pretty hard to watch.
I don't know,
but it's gonna be really good.
I don't know how long Nigel has left on this show. It could be months, it could be years, but I don't think it'll be years. I just think it'll be months. Like, it might be a Christmas storyline.
I think it might genuinely be a Christmas storyline if it goes that long.
Yeah,
because I don't think he's here for the long run. Although it would be interesting to see, but it does feel like the way he's progressing, it doesn't feel like it's going to be a long run. Like in Coronation Street, they're also doing an early onset dementia storyline. But they've kind of already explained that this one's probably going to go on over years. And so that character will slowly, go through the signs and go through her illness grow, or what disease, I don't know, whatever the term. Basically, through time, you're going to see her slowly become less of who she is and more of what she has to deal with now. But yeah, I don't think that they're gonna. It doesn't feel like a long-term storyline, because if they did, they would have announced it much more. Like this one, I'm pretty sure this storyline was kind of they'd announced that Nigel was returning, and it's like, he's returning ahead of the 40th anniversary. Let's go. And then you didn't really say much else. And then through the story, we very quickly learned that he's suffering with early onset dementia. So, yeah, probably a Christmas storyline, and probably the end result is Phil finally being there for one of his loved ones when they need him, and I'm sure Phil will probably be involved whenever Nigel decides it's time to go. It feels like a proper full circle moment for Phil, and it would be odd if they didn't go that direction, in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree. Sorry, Hannah. Don't know why I'm a bit sleepy. I do agree with that. But we will see where it goes from here. Now the next topic To no one's surprise, is Nicola returned last week. This is the Nicola hour. I'm still workshopping it, after the Ruby Allen special. I found nothing that would take over it. So. But anyways, yeah, Nicola's birthday is this week. Happy birthday to you. She's like 50 or something. So it's
Is she 50?
I'm gonna make a guess that they're in their 50s. There's no way they're in their 60s.
No, 40s.
Maybe
I
late
reckon
40s.
she's about 40. She's 44.
I gotta go a few years left.
She doesn't look old.
How old is she in real life?
Well, no, the actress is 44.
Oh, alright. Fair enough. She's probably like 45 in the show, 46, Or maybe down a bit more. But they seem a bit older because they obviously have 3 kids, or 2 kids. So yeah. It's like I said, it's Nicola's birthday this week. And they're pulling out all the stocks. Harry's getting a cake. Barney's trying to get a woman in this economy. And Nicola is trying to scheme Teddy because Teddy is doing construction work, and obviously, what is the park called, Ash?
Is it not Paradise Park?
Paradise Park. I don't know if that's a real place, but Paradise Park, is being reworked on. They're putting apartments on it. Just classic soaps.
Classic London.
Classic London. Anywhere they can do it, they would. So they're going to put apartments there, and obviously Nicola does not want Teddy to find out that sugar, I've someone buried there. So she tries to get Ravi to like come in and do it, and then Ravi's like, "Oh, okay, what am I to do?" And then Nicola just lays it out for him, and he goes, "No."
She does it in a very Nicola way, where it's like, "Oh, it's only just dumping a dead body." Sorry, what? yeah. All you have to do is just move a dead body. I'm not sure about that one. And this is all her because she's both enjoying the fact that it's her birthday and she's getting to spend the birthday with the kids, but also with Teddy moving forward with the Paradise Park project, she has to solve the problem that is like Shireen's dead body being there. Now, is she actually buried there? Is there a chance that she somehow turns up alive in the end? I don't know, maybe. It's EastEnders. But yeah, so she spends most of her birthday trying to really piece together how do I solve this problem, and that means she kind of skips out on some family stuff, and they want to spend time with her, but she's also really trying to get rid of this dead body.
Yeah, and speaking of dead bodies, we have Kojo and Harry. I don't know where I was going with that. But Kojo and Harry is now my favourite dynamic because we have Himbo Harry. Isn't that what he's called, Himbo?
By us, mostly.
Yeah, by us. Himbo Harry, as he's now dubbed by us. And we have Kojo, the Dick Slinger. I don't know Kojo's nickname. I don't know. But yeah, we find out that Kojo really wants to move out because he doesn't like the fake. He's getting nightmares and he wants a place to live. And Harry is just amused that he actually knows more about cars than he does. Cause he's like, I wouldn't have figured that out myself. I think, and then
he just gives him a fair shout. He just gives him a fair opportunity. Kojo's like, hey, I want to work, and then Kojo gets him right. Harry goes, you know what? Come here tomorrow. We can do this. And honestly, this little dynamic, I hope it continues so much. Harry and Kojo are a fucking great pairing. And I don't know, they just work. Harry's just happy to exist. And it obviously pairs with Kojo, who's also happy to exist. This is an interesting. Sorry, I'm going to my bit next.
Doesn't Harry try to get a woman and Kojo steps in and is like, no. And then Harry's like, get you. Stop
blocking me, mate.
I love it.
She gives him his number anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah.
Um,
And then they go
but,
to yeah.
no, but yeah, it's because it's basically after the Queen Vic explosion, and since the Knights have been living at uh Dot's old place at Sonia's now. It's obviously become a thing where Kojo didn't really like living in the pub. It's too loud, it's too much noise, it's never quiet, and especially after the explosion, he's had some nightmares after it. So he speaks to Gina like, "Yeah, I don't really want to. I don't want to live there anymore. You know, I don't really want to be there." And George is having a rough time because obviously when Cabina left, George was given the big like, "Hey, I will look after him and he'll stay with me, and I'll take big care of him." And it is kind of, I'd imagine it's a pretty stressful thing as a parent for, I mean, first to just, obviously, he's not his kid, but he is his brother who has autism, who, you know, it's one of those things where, as much as you may believe that they could be capable of doing it, you also are quite scared because if you're not there to protect them, what sort of trouble could they get in, right? I'd imagine it's a quandary that most parents have when their kids move out in the first place. And especially with kids, especially with parents who have like a family member with autism, like I'm sure they could move out by themselves and do their own and live in their own space, which definitely can and definitely could do, but also as like a person of care, as basically a guardian, you are just kind of like, I don't know, what if I'm not there, Kojo? And then Kojo's like, no, I want to have my own place, I want to get my own job, and that's what he does. But yeah, George is just very resistant because it's like, I'm happy for you, but also I don't want you to leave.
Do you reckon that Kojo will start picking up women? He'll just be a himbo as well. He can both be himbos.
He's got too much going on upstairs.
Ah,
He's too smart.
fair enough.
That's all. It's all Harry knows. But no, I do like this. I hope this continues and turns into an actual like partnership because it just works. It just works. They both seem just genuinely happy to be there. It's great. But yeah, it's an interesting quandary with someone with autism kind of like moving out from living with family who, they do play a role in keeping everything together, and maybe they do a lot of stuff that somebody with autism may not necessarily know that they're doing. You might take for granted. So yeah, I can understand the trepidation from George, but I can also understand the yearning from Kojo to want to find your own spot. But yeah, it's always a weird thing. It's always a weird thing for me. Whenever there's characters that have autism, I'm just like, oh, no, no. But I'm a part of this club. It's just always get a bit weird. But
And
I like this partnership. I hope it goes somewhere.
and I'm usually outside the autism club trying to get in, but ASOS has a sign saying no piggies allowed. But they've already have
Exactly.
a piggy in there. They just don't want me in there. That's the problem usually. I always got to get the Homer Simpson bit in when I can. I always got to get it in when I can.
Pretty sure you did it last week.
I'm pretty maybe. It's classic Piggy. Run anything into the ground until it can't be run into the ground anymore. Yeah. Where was I? So yeah, that's pretty much it. What was I gonna say? Teddy pretty much finds out like you buried someone in the park. What the fuck? The fuck me. Why? And then Nicola's like, I don't know, I'm scared.
I suppose also the bit about Harry though is Kojo. He does mention to Harry like, oh, do you actually like, you are going on multiple dates. You ever just date one woman at a time? And he says, oh, that's what my mum said you do. And then he kind of briefly mentions Shireen, and well, shortly Harry might be going on a couple of actual dates with just one person, which has been teased by the spoilers. So Is love in the air?
Can we
Time will
get
tell.
Kojo and Harry dating? Come on. Yeah, that would be the ultimate partnership. But yeah, that's pretty much the week of EastEnders, unless you've anything to add.
We can also just go through the end bit as well.
Yeah.
So after Nicola tries to get Ravi to hide the body, he doesn't do it, gets angry, and then Teddy shows up. Here's the truth, and then I always likes, and obviously Teddy is fuming because it's like, what I honestly like when Teddy gets angry because he just shouts. He shouts. He's enraged. Like, what the fuck are you doing, you fucking lunatic? Just what are you doing? And then slowly Nicola tries to be like, oh, it was just a deal that went wrong. Oh, what was that? And he's like, you're lying. So, well, it was just a thing. And then in the end, she just said, look, it happened like 3 years ago. And then kind of goes, yeah, it's Shireen. And Teddy's just kind of like, what am I supposed to do, man? What? Just why are you like this? Because we built up Nicola for this big celebration of her. But the big secret is she took Shireen away from Harry in the end, which is, fireworks set to go off. And Teddy's rightfully fuming because he's like, why have you not told me any of this? And yeah, it's cool. I do really like Nicola. I think she works really well. I think like I said, I made comparisons to her and Ronnie, but I do genuinely think this is probably an angle to get a character relatively similar to Ronnie in this current form. A bit more dodgy than Ronnie was, but still, it's kind of that sort of calculating, more manipulative, scheming kind of Mitchell that you've not really had that much for a while. And I feel like they are absolutely like feasting on having Nicola there. But it's also nice to see Teddy once again have some actual fucking gusto behind him as well. But yeah, honestly, there was a lot of good stuff this week. The sad Nigel stuff and the kind of really exciting will Nicola actually be able to get rid of this body. Yeah, it was pretty solid week, all things considered. Not much happened, but
I know it's time for the award section. Are you ready?
Yep.
You, as per usual, you go through it as I write down the timestamp.
So we initially conceived these awards to just give a stupid excuse to just give people praise and give people some not so savoury words. We typically have the most underrated, which usually just goes to the person we like the most during the week. It's not even underrated in general. It's the awards are clumsy. Let's be honest. We have who needs slapping down, who's been the most annoying, who's been the most annoying. Yeah, that's it. And the Keanu Taylor Award of Excellence, which goes to the most wooden thing, portrayal, actor, object, just anything. I mean, it's a terrible award. Don't know why we still do them, but we will never stop. Because they have to be done.
I just like it being a running bit, so I'm just imagining someone who's been following since the start just actually starts like tallying up the amount of former Steve Blackman, now Keanu Taylor Award of Excellence, award underrated, and who needs slapping down, just to see like who has the most awards and how shit they are. Like how many is just given to a bench, how many is just given to a piece of paper. So what do you want to go with first, Ash?
It's just, I don't know. For you, it's the award that keeps giving, because you just absolutely love. You're just like, I'll just go on. Say the line. A wardrobe. I got him. That's you every week. Yeah, I'll call it as a coffin. That's wooden. Each time.
Yeah,
It'll never be stopped. It's infinitely funny for Piggy.
Yeah, what word are you going for first?
Underrated.
Oh, like easy Kojo and Harry's friendship.
Yeah, I can't even go beyond that. Really, it's too good. The ham and cheese toasties. Makes me want a ham and cheese toast. We got nothing in the fridge. It's all over.
How many takes do you reckon they took to eat that ham and cheese toasty? It can't have just been one.
If it was me, I would take about 10 and I would finish it all.
You going over to Steve McFadden going, hey, you gonna finish that, Steve? Nah, fair enough, I'll have it. Thanks.
You're projecting.
What? No.
I said you're projecting.
No. No.
Can I finish that food, Steve?
Okay, is this about the rice back in August? The rice bowl?
Mate, you literally told the story earlier about you would be like, oh, Nan, you want that food? No, you don't.
Yeah, man.
I'm not the one who always brings it up. That's you.
Fair enough. The next is the Keanu Taylor Award of Excellence. The most wooden. It can be fictional, in the sense, in a fictional sense. It could be an object. It can be anything we desire. What are you going for?
Ivani's choice in boys.
Yeah, we didn't
imagine going for Joel when we didn't actually talk about that.
Yeah, I was only
but basically, Ivani and Barney, they're teasing getting together. They're teasing like actually telling each other they like each other. Barney gets Ivani a present and invites her to the party. Ivani doesn't feel like going, is very isolated, and he goes to give her the gift, but Joel shows up instead. And so imagine picking Joel over Barney.
See,
wrong move, Ivani.
See, I know it's probably just in a classic American movies, but I want him to do the fucking mixtape thing where he where he gets like, I'm here without you, by
outside with the boombox.
Yeah, he's playing Here Without You by 3 Doors Down. I'm here without you, baby.
What is it from? It's like Say Anything with John Cusack. Yeah, I mean, the boombox. I gave her my heart. She gave me a pen. Belter. Look, I enjoy a bit of romantic comedy.
I
watched way too much of it as a kid, as a teenager.
As a 24-year-old man, I thought you were going to say next.
Mate, fuck it, why not?
No,
I don't watch as much as I used to be fair.
But
it's because as a teenager, I was trying to like figure out like how do people do relationships and stuff. So I went, yes, teen movies. It's really good, guys, for relationships. Look, the autism works in mysterious ways. I don't know, man. And like one of the first ones I watched, it's fucking awful. It's so shit. One of the first ones I watched was the like Freddie Prinze Jr. Julia Stiles Down to You, which is a weird movie where they both recap getting together and the story. And at some point he drinks her shampoo. Because he drinks his shampoo and he drinks her shampoo after they have a big breakup. And in his brain he figures, if I can survive the shampoo, I don't need her anymore. And he had to get his stomach pumped, and they get back together in the end. It's cheeks. It's not great. Kind of love it, It's just weird that it was one of the first ones I watched. But then 10 Things Hair by You, absolute belter.
I'll get back to the awards in a second. I really want him to do the boombox scene. You don't even need a boombox for this. You just need a speaker with Spotify on it. It's just a classic.
Just comes out. My milkshake brings other boys to the yard. And they're like, it's better than yours. They're like, better than yours to teach you. But yeah, after church, just he's like bouncing. If you wanna. To Barney with a speaker. He starts flossing in the middle of it. Drops the speaker. It's all over the place. What a stupid joke. What a terrible joke.
He's like, I've got this very serious song that I'm gonna play to you, Vanny, to show you this heartbreak I'm feeling. Baby shark do 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 do, mommy shark do 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 do, mommy shark. Classic.
Just immediate. Just hit him with the old. Hit him with the old. Shit! I forgot it. Did it. All 3 minutes of tequila. Tequila. Yeah. Start dancing all over the place.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
Wasting away again in Margarita.
What a strange segment.
But okay, if you have made it this far, lads, what song would you play on a boombox for your lover? It doesn't have to be a boombox now. It can be Spotify or anything. But what song would you play standing outside in the rain to your lover?
Standing outside in the rain. Oh Jesus. Oh, do you have one in mind?
Again, I was just going to, like I nominated earlier, "Here Without You" by Three Doors Down. The song, you might know it as, is the song they used in Eddie Guerrero's tribute.
I know what it is.
Yeah,
I know what it is.
I'm here without you, baby. But you're
See it would all. See, I wouldn't do that because it would all be too cringe for me. I don't like the word cringe. It would all be too much. I can't have other people other than them knowing what song I'm playing over this speaker.
But what song?
Hey, connect to my Spotify right now. I need to play you a song. Have earphones in though.
What song would you pick though, Ash?
I don't know. I don't have any funny ones to name.
You play the fucking.
It's also it's a bit too needlessly emotional for me as well.
My
love language is me being glad that my love language is people knowing that I'm glad that they're not dead. that's that for me, you know. That's romance for me.
But what about if they just played Northern Boys for you? The Northern Boys, Patrick Kevin Jr.'s Hindu sesh.
I get distracted, so.
You're a virgin. You've never had sex with a person. You've only had sex with your right hand. Don't know that ain't right hand. But continuing on, the Keanu Taylor Award of Excellence. He went on a fucking tangent.
No, we already did this though. I said Avani's taste in men.
Oh yeah. What was I gonna give it to? I'm just gonna give it to Avani. Avani being just a fanny. Just being a fanny, you know. Come on, it's Barney. You can't go wrong with him.
Well, it's a thing where I like the idea of Barney and Avani because it to me it's like the most innocent, cute thing ever. Because as I'm pretty sure, you know, it's kind of been heavily discussed and like in our comment section as well, where you have we're obsessed with it because I don't think Avani's ever interacted with a nerd in her life. Like, what? You read fucking books and that? What? Just being like infatuated by this little fucking loser. I don't know, just cutesy, adorable. I'm all there for it. I love Barney as well, but you know, in terms of the school hierarchy, he's not giving the nerds a swirly in the toilet, is he?
No. And the last award: who needs slapping down? Avani.
Don't know, George.
I've gone for Avani, so.
You have to. Why is it? Yeah, fair enough. Why? Look, I get it, George, but also he's got to spread his own wings, and if not, he'll just come back anyways.
Yeah.
If it all doesn't work out, there's still a room for him.
Yeah, it's typically what you do. There's typically a room at the end for you. You know, that's what you do.
Yeah.
So there are the awards, and now it is time for the after show. If you don't know this, the after show, this can go for 10 minutes, it can go for 5 minutes, it can go for probably 2 minutes. It all depends on how we feel, really. Where do I start? Well, I got a t-shirt off Vinted, and I actually like it. It's nice and comfy. A bunch of flowers. With a little penguin. Look at that little penguin. There he is, look at him. Little penguin.
Oh yeah, that's how I found it.
I love this shirt. It's very baggy on me. It's a 4XL. I'm usually a 3XL, but the problem with all my shirts is I bought them from Primark, aka Pennies. And you know, they're very cheap shirts, so when you give them a wash, maybe it's because I'm just getting fat, but they shrink usually.
He's going straight back into they shrink in the wash.
Yeah. I'm never leaving it. It's a running joke that me and Ash have. Because every
Yeah,
time
but that's because you've said it genuinely. Though that's the problem.
yeah. Anything happening with you, mate? Anything you want to discuss? Pope Francis is dead. If you want to
I'm
discuss
alright. Don't have much Pope Francis material. I won't lie.
that. Lovely blog. From what I heard.
It's just normal. It's usual updates, really. This is mostly just for the update. I'm finally back to having energy again, which has been fun. Apparently, what I'd figured out is it's only been like 3 weeks, because basically, for some reason, this last month has been really, really long, and it's just after all the Christmas stuff and all the 40th anniversary, a big deal of burnout went into place, and then I'm like, I'm just fucking tired all the time. So finally back to having energy again. Finally getting back to actually editing the big project, which, I was going to say it's halfway there. The first stage is halfway nearly done. I have gotten all of Piggy's audio edited down, so and it's going to be a long boy because Piggy's part is about 40 minutes in this video that's going to come out. It's a 40-minute part. Now it's all Piggy narration. It's going to be my editing, and then obviously there's going to be my segment, which will probably be like another 45 minutes at least. So, stay tuned, because that will come out at some point soon. Well, some point soon.
Probably soon.
That will come out October. No, hopefully it'll come out eventually. In my thinking, the longest bit will be getting to the stage where it needs to be edited. But once I just need to put like footage in there, it'll probably be fine. Like, it's just getting to that point, which is the ball buster. But it's gradually getting there. It's slowly taking shape. We've been working on some other scripts as well. Piggy had a revelation one night, being like, I should probably start doing videos of my own. You want to talk about
that? Very quickly, yeah. So I can obviously say the video idea, can't I?
Yeah, sure.
So Ash is obviously, we are nearing the end of Chris Clenshaw's era, and if you don't know, this is our first era we have covered on the podcast. Surprise, surprise. We've technically covered all of the eras, but that's because we watched the Christmas episode. Don't really count. So we thought, Ash went, I'm going to do all the negatives. And I'm sat there going, well, there's no positives. And I don't really have a say in the channel, because all I appear, basically, if you don't know, I politic, basically. Because I'm like, Ash, if you're doing a solo video, it's mainly yours. But I need to have my little bit, so it's like, people know that it's still a two-person street. And it's not like, it's all me, Ash. It's all me. That's the entire show. Piggy's just there. And like I said, it's the same. If Ash wants to appear in my video, I can give him a cameo, no problem. It's just about me fitting him in.
Paying my rights as well.
Yeah. He charged 50 quid per minute, and that's why he goes. And then there was a big dog. Ash, can you speed it up? I would, Piggy. That's why. So, as I was saying, he's doing all the negatives, and I will be appearing in that, just giving my quick negative thoughts. But I said, Ash, can I steal your idea? He went, no. And I went, how about I do the positives?
Yeah, because I told him, I was like, all right, I've got a cool outline for a script. Let's go. And I was like, all right, cool. This one's not going to take 4 fucking years to do. And then I tell him about the script. I read out what my premise is. And, like, he's just like, oh, yeah, sounds good. I'm like, all right, so he didn't really give a shit about the idea. Then at 10 at night, he's like, yeah, that idea you mentioned, can I do it? And I'm sat there like, no, it's my fucking idea. Oh, yeah, you know that fucking Lego thing you built? Well, can I have it when you build it? Well, fuck off, no, it's mine. I'll put in all the legwork for this.
So I decided I'll do all the positives. And so Ash will be doing all the negatives, which will mostly be focusing on like where the characters went wrong, what went wrong. But mine will be mostly outlining the positives. I will also be doing like mini run throughs of like the year. So I will be like discussing like in 2023 the 6, outlining why the 6 are important and what they did throughout that year, and then 2024 obviously, and obviously yeah, Lola will be mentioned and anything else that significantly happened in 2023. But that's mainly it. I've wrote about Stacey Slater. I've included a few jokes because I write like I'm when I have to write scripts, I do two mentalities. I write like I'm writing for myself, and then when I have to obviously do a Watching Walford script, which is for the two of us, or just one of us, which is mainly you, because I do the majority of all the scripts. I usually have to write like Ash is presenting it, which is very hard because I have to go, okay, I want to include a joke, but it's my joke, so I can't include it because Ash wouldn't read the joke out the way I would read it, my joke out, because he'd be like, and then there was a pig, and that's funny because haha pig, and it's like, oh, thanks Ash, you know, so it's just I have to write in mind for Ash, but thankfully with my own script, I just have to, write the way I would actually speak to a camera, just with an actual script. I know I'm stumbling on my words, but you can understand why I need a script sometimes. So yeah, it's fun. I don't mind writing the scripts. I honestly just what I did was it was about like 3 in the morning. I went fuck this, put on an American football. It's a Midwest emo band from the 90s. They did the famous Neverment song. So if you've never heard Midwest emo, but you've just heard of Neverment by American Football, it's a banger song. I just put on that like entire first album, and I'm just writing till my heart contents. And then I went for a piss, and then I'm bored. I'm bored. Let me colour in. I've been also colouring in on my phone. I can't actually colour in the lines. I'm dyslexic. It's very hard for me to colour in the lines in real life. So I've just been colouring in on my phone while watching the EastEnders, and I've been enjoying that recently. So that's what I've been mostly up to. And also, my trip's happening. Well, when this comes out, my trip is nearly over. I fly out. I fly out tomorrow, which is, for us tomorrow is the 25th, but in reality, it has already happened. I've watched Twilight, and there's 2 takes here. It was really good. Yeah, it was really shit.
Boo.
But you'll find out next week. I'll probably give my thoughts if I don't fall asleep during the fucking movie, because it is 5 movies back to back with a 10-minute break in between.
It's a bit of a bold choice, but yeah, but it's cool to see that, because initially when we were conceiving of this channel, it was all like, all right, so in my brain, because I'd at least had a little bit of background of like doing all this stuff before, and I did like multiple other channels presenting other sort of shit, and I at least had an idea of where I wanted it to go. But also, I definitely had definitely have a bit of an ego. So I was like, all right, here's where I want Piggy to be. Right now he's at like 10%, but eventually he's going to do this, he'll do that. Eventually we're both going to do like solo stuff as well, and it's going to, it'll make to be like a bigger picture, and, people will both enjoy our different perspectives. And obviously I also happen to do a bunch of the other soap stuff as well, which is obviously stuff I watch anyway, so it'd be stupid if Piggy went, yeah, I'm going to do it. Do you watch it? Well, no, I don't know what's going on, but I'll be there. It's like, well, there's no point in that then, is it? There's no point in that. But yeah, honestly, the script so far, they're going quite well. We definitely do have two different writing styles, which is a fun little thing. But yeah, it's cool that at this point we're now actually working on projects. Whether any of them see the light of day, it's another thing entirely. But we are getting there, and fingers crossed. This is the sort of stuff that I'd imagine gets a bit bigger than the channel, rather than kind of like existing just on there. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting time. I also gave the fun little caveat where it's like, all right, Piggy, you can do the solo video. I'm not editing it. Fuck that. I'm not doing it. I'm barely doing all the stuff I already agreed to edit. I'm not doing it. Leave me alone. Which has to be done. As I'm a lazy editor. and it takes me too long to do simple things.
Yeah. No. You're a brilliant editor. I've been thinking, like, if he needs me to edit my own section for this big video, I can do it. But yeah.
Look, I mean, in my defense, I do have to come out of hibernation at Christmas time, and at Christmas for about 3 straight weeks, I was doing like 15-hour days trying to get everything going, which you did help with. But also that solo Christmas video, that edit was fucking miserable.
My favorite thing about the Christmas bit, because obviously we figured it out that I can edit other videos, and all you have to do is not proofread, but proof watch it, and then just go, I'm going to edit this joke out, I'm going to edit this joke in. But it's very funny because like my favorite bit about Christmas is I'm sat there and I'm like, Ash, do you need help with these videos? Nah, I'll have them sorted in a week. A week goes by. Do you sure you don't need help? No. And then it's like, oh fuck, can you help me? And I'm like, it's Christmas, Ash. And he's like, yeah, please. And I'm like, fuck it, why not? I'll do my bit. I didn't mind editing down the Christmases. I will do it again for this Christmas. Gladly, I will try and do my best. Because I don't really edit a lot. Literally, my job is fade in, fade out. So when I get to like actually put my editing skills in, it's something I just edit on my phone. Really, that's all I really do. I know it's a bit weird because people are like, you have a giant PC, why don't you use a PC? I'm weird about it, alright. I just like editing on my phone where I can just like look at it on my phone and then go in and go out instead of like, I have to get up, turn on my PC, sit in this fucking chair, spend 6 hours just to do this one segment. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. I look forward to it. Yeah, if you don't know, I do for the majority write all the scripts for. Well, I do the majority writing for the scripts. Ash proofreads them and edits in the important bits. So yeah, I will say, if you don't know, that's my role basically on Watching Walford. It's just because Ash be like, I have a script, and I'm like, are you gonna work on it? No. I'm like, give me 5 minutes, and then by
I don't even know how it works, but it's very like, I have a cool idea. Here's all the stuff I'd like to put in there. And then Piggy goes, all right, I'll fill in the blanks. Go, yeah, sound. Yeah. Here's all the stuff you need. Here's all the beats you need to hit. Here's the important bits. And then in the end, I'll go through and I'll like fucking construct it and cut the shit out that doesn't need to be in a video, or structure it for YouTube. And then at that point, it goes back to me to produce all the shit as well. But yeah, no, it's I'd like, if we actually get particularly successful, an editor's coming. An editor for the long form content is absolutely coming, because I'm fucking useless at it. I'm sure I could do a good job, but also getting to that point is an absolute ball ache. And we all have our problems. I am a really lazy editor, so
fair enough.
I can do a good job.
He can.
Just getting to that point where I'm in that position, it's not a very streamlined workflow. But through time, I'll get better at it and do more. But it also doesn't help on most of the ideas I have turn out to be really fucking long. So, let's do this. Let's rank the last 10 Christmases, which was a good idea, and the video did do really well. Like, I'm pretty sure it got like 5k views. That's fucking banging. Let's go. But it did take us like 3 months of prep, about 2 weeks of hard fucking 15-hour day edits.
Which, guys, won't you believe it? This year it's returning, but it's 2001 to 2012, I believe. No, 2002 to 2012. Because we actually need, like, because 1985 to 2001 seems better than doing fucking. Don't worry, it's how much. I planned this out like last year, and I just went, sound. Because I usually plan the Christmases ahead of time, and I just give it to Ash, and Ash greenlights it if he wants to greenlight it. It's basically how we do it. Like, because if you don't know, just to peel back the curtain, we usually start Christmas stuff around August, September, because we don't want to like have a repeat of what kind of happened last year, where it's like get all of this done within 2 weeks, and it's like fuck. You want to kind of just do what they do in the animation industry, where they like plan it out months ahead and then storyboard it and stuff. And that's usually it. Yeah, Christmas is the one time of year I look forward to the channel, because obviously I like the ideas of like continuing the Monopoly tradition. Will Piggy win it? Will he not? Obviously continuing those videos. I'd love to do the baking one again because that was funny. Just fucking whisk it, Piggy. I just love all those types of videos. It's fun hanging out with Ash and then editing it myself. It's weird. I will say the one thing that's weird is when I find a joke funny and Ash doesn't. So I left it in and then Ash like I'm cutting it. I'm like damn. Like I had an entire bit where in one of the fucking Christmas episodes, I think it was 2013, I had Ash redoing. I spliced in Ash doing Phil saying this ain't over, with him leaving, but Ash like nah leaving it. And I thought it was pretty funny.
That was kept in.
I don't think it was.
No, it was in.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I thought it got cut.
No.
Oh, sorry. I sandbagged you. I
made it in. It did make it in. Yeah.
But
yeah, it's the main issue with it being a 2-person production, really. Like, we have our skills, you know. If I have a script idea and I have the shit I want, I can just go, hey, Piggy, do all this shit, and Piggy will fucking get it all done in like a week or two. And then when it gets to me, it's like, will I do it quickly? Well, I don't want to get burned out, so now time to do it at a fucking snail's pace. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. How do you counter burnout? How do you counter just being lazy as fuck? Who knows? Who knows? But I'm sure when the videos are made, if they do well, I'm sure maybe I'll buck up my fucking ideas and actually do stuff with any relative pace.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty much where we leave off. Unless you have anything else to talk about. I'm just going to enjoy my holiday tomorrow. And, well, the holiday has already happened. I got a haircut as well. I mentioned in one of the videos that's not until next week. No people can see it. Ash did bring that up in a video that no people can see it. But yeah, this will be the first official video of me with my new haircut. Just got an old trim. Also shaved the beard. Kept the mustache. Shaved the beard. Because, as I said to Ash off camera, I really want to have a kind of different look to Ash, where people just look at me and go, he has the bushy eyebrows, he has the weird Hawaiian shirts, why does he have that mustache? Why does he have it?
It's like the mustache, in his brain the mustache is like the Ned Flanders, like, yeah, that's my look. But like, you got everything else going on, you don't need the mustache.
Yeah, Ash...
a part of me does think it would be really... I mean, obviously coming from me, where, you know, I can't grow facial hair for shit either. But a part of me, for some reason, thinks it'd be really funny if I can ever grow a proper mustache, like an absolute slug. A part of me wants to do it because it'd be funny.
I was just imagining you growing a proper mustache thing, you look at me and go, try that, bitch.
Well, it doesn't help. I have a very, like, I do have a very smug grin as well, so I feel like people will get the wrong idea. It was like one of my brothers, he thought it'd be funny, because he often cut his hair pretty short, and then one day he decided to shave in the mustache, but because it's inherently stupid and he's also got the same sort of smug grin that I have, he was just waltzing around with this ridiculous mustache, just like with this cheeky grin, and it's fucking ridiculous. It was great.
But yeah, like I always said, I want to have kind of a different look to Ash, because I don't want to say flamboyant, but I'm in pretty out there clothes. Compared to Ash, who's just usually in a red t-shirt, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's funny how it all goes. But yeah, it's fingers crossed. Any of the projects we mentioned, I'm gonna say that the one thing I don't think I mentioned, and this will be the final bit. The one thing that's fun is the shorts have been doing really well. The shorts have been popping off for some reason. It took a couple of months. I say popping off. Most shorts, like a bunch of shorts that are really successful, do get like 1 mil. Most of the shorts are getting like 1,000, which is pretty crazy, all things considered.
I will just gonna butt in here.
And they are all me, of course.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. They're all Ash.
All these shorts made and performed by the best fucking presenter I know, me. Although you do get them occasionally, but there's also comments just like, "Oh bloody hell! I'm glad there's subtitles. Can't understand." But because I'm so used to your voice, I know exactly what you're saying. But then I remember that some people are just any even hint of an accent. It's like, I just can't bloody understand anything.
It's a problem, and plus I do kind of stutter when I talk, so it does have. And then sometimes I overtalk and I talk like this, and it gets very confusing. Where I speed up and talk, but I try like for the video that's coming out, the most evil EastEnders. I did slow my speaking down a little bit, so people could probably understand me a bit better. Just saying that, Ash gonna have a giant subtitle over me. Like, it's just gonna have.
I did think about it. I did think about the subtitle in the whole video.
Yeah, it would be cool, but.
But I'll also just probably I'll probably just put like closed captions on, and I'll just put the script in there anyways.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, that's pretty much.
Have it accessible.
That is.
I think the final bit of the video, I initially we conceived it to be like more stylized, like the spooky YouTubers kind of do. Probably it'll start off quite tame and not very stylized, and maybe like if we do more of these sorts of videos, we'll probably eventually get there. But like fundamentally, maybe I should stop putting obstacles in front of getting the video done. Maybe I should just get it fucking done. But yeah, good stuff is happening. This was a fun podcast.
Yeah.
More and more. You can finish off now if you want.
So, without further ado, let us know down below, what do you think of the EastEnders? Did you enjoy? Did you not? And let us know, do you like Twilight? Do you not like Twilight? What's your favourite Twilight movie? 50 Shades of Grey, whatever. Just anything you like to leave, just leave it down below. It can be anything. You can tell me I have a shit haircut, I don't care. I just wanna say that JD fans killed the Pope. That is a joke, for clarification. Don't want JD fans coming near me, but he did kill the Pope. And also ripped the Steve Mongo McMichael. He was a fairly shit wrestler, but he was an NFL player. And my God, did he actually put in the work to try and be a wrestler? So RIP to Steve Mongo McMichael and big old Pope Francis. We will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Bye bye.